Hi, today I'm going to show you how to clean a paintball marker. This is a Spyder Imagine. This is one of the cheapest marker that Spyder makes. It's a great example because it's got a similar body frame to a lot of Spyder gun out there. Before we start cleaning the gun, make sure you always disconnect your air source. Never work on your gun, maintain your gun, or clean your gun with the air source in place. Next, turn off the gun to a safe position. Take out the barrel. Lay it down gently. As you can see, if you turn the marker to the side, you'll see a paper clip thing here. Take it out. Remember, when you clean your gun, always keep all the parts you take off your gun in a safe place, right in front of you, so you don't lose them. They're a pain in the butt to replace. Next, slide out the pin, and the whole marker should just slide apart itself. This is the velocity adjuster, and inside it there's a metal disc. Don't lose it. Next, you can take out the main spring and the spring guide, and next you slide out the bolt and the striker. Right behind the striker there's a rubber bumper. Don't lose that. That's the bolt, and that's the striker. Next, Spyder is held together with 3 screws. One here and one here. 2 of them holds the trigger frame to the gun itself, and that is for the vertical regulator. So next, get your Allen key and take it apart. The trigger frame should just detach like that. You're detaching the screw for the vertical regulator. Lightly press onto this way, because the cup seal spring is actually pushing on the screw, making it hard to unscrew. So push it with your 2 fingers like that, and the screw should come out a lot easier. Voila. The gun should slide apart. Here's the cup seal and the cup seal spring. Now, let's leave the trigger frame aside. Next, you want to undo the screw here, the golden screw here. That holds the valve body in place. Keep it in a safe spot. And if you look through the striker chamber, there's the valve body. And to remove valve body, never use screwdriver. Bad idea. Always use something soft and stiff. Like I'm using right here is a tube. Just push it out, and the valve body should come out. If you don't have a tube, use a pencil with an eraser in the back and use that to push it out. It should work just fine. Now you have successfully stripped the gun and slide out the valve body. Next thing you want to do is grab a paper towel or a tissue, wipe clean the valve body, make sure there's no dirt or grease on it, and next you grab your paintball oil. Here I have a view loader care kit. It comes with paintball oil and marker shine. This kit's about 13 bucks in Canadian Tire, and it's worth it for first timers. Remember, you always want to use only paintball oil on paintball guns. You never want to use WD-40 or any other lubricants, because WD-40 contains chemicals that would actually ruin the seal and make the gun useless. So now you grab your paintball marker oil, apply it to the 2 O-rings on your valve body, and don't apply too much, just enough to cover the ring, and rotate it around. And now you do it for the second ring. Once you've done that, slide the valve body back into the gun. And make sure the valve body is in line with the screw hole, so you can put back the golden screw right here. Fasten with a screwdriver. Tighten it, but don't over tighten it, because that will ruin the valve body and the screw. That's good. Once you've done that, wipe off the oil, and you can put the valve body. Now you can put cup seal and the valve pin back into the gun with its spring, like that. The next thing you want to do is put back the trigger frame. When putting back trigger frame, just put in the 2 screws first, and don't fasten them yet. Just get it in place. And now, how you want to fasten it is do the back screw a little bit, and the front screw a little bit, and go back to the back screw and fasten it this time. Again, don't over tighten it, just make sure it won't come apart. There. And next, you want to put back in the vertical regulator. And before you put it back in, there is 2 rubber O-ring on it as well. I would recommend you clean that off. Clean it inside, right here, and oil it again with marker oil. This prevents the rubber O-ring from freezing under rapid firing from the CO2. Now I've oiled it. Slide the vertical regulator back into the gun. And when you push, remember to push on the vertical regulator while you're screwing the screw, because the spring makes it hard to screw back in. So push this way. And screw in gently. Remember, don't force in your screw if they're stuck, because that means the threads are not biting on top of each other. So what you want to do is back out your screw and start over again. You never want to force the screw in, because that'll just screw up your gun. There, now you have it back in place. Next, let's put the marker aside. Let's go to the bolt. The bolt, there's 2 O-rings on it. Right now I'm using a dental explorer. Just go to your nearest dental office and ask for a used explorer that I don't need anymore. And what you could do is go do that and take out the rubber O-ring, both of them. And now you can just pretty much soak this into warm soapy water and clean it inside and out. And after you've done that, rinse it with clean water again and wipe it dry. And make sure the internals are dry too. Sometimes it's pretty hard to go in there and wipe it out, so I recommend using a blow dryer and blow dry it. Make sure it's nice and dry before you put it back into your gun. Same thing with the striker. Here's the striker O-ring. It's a special O-ring. It's a different O-ring from the one you use in your tank or on the bolt. So this O-ring has to be there. Has to be the striker O-ring. So once you take it apart, don't mix it up with other O-rings, and keep it in a safe place. Next, after you soap and water cleaning it, you want to dry it out again with a blow dryer for the inside, or you can just stick paper towel inside of it and dry it that way. After you've done that, you want to oil all the O-rings. Like that. And you want to do that same for the bolt O-rings, because the bolt O-ring has a lot of friction. If you don't oil it properly, the bolt will actually ruin the internal of the gun, and you might even cause other damage, or you might chop a lot of paint. So make sure you oil that good, not too much, just enough to cover the O-ring itself. And what you can do now is put the bolt onto this, put the striker onto the bolt and slide it back into the gun, like that. Turn on your gun, push here, and while tapping on the trigger, the bolt should just go in like that. Once you're done, put the gun back together. Rubber bumper first, like that, and the spring guide and the main spring. And make sure the disc, the metal disc, goes into the velocity adjuster screw. This plate here puts even pressure onto the spring guide. Slide it back in. Hold it with your index finger. Put the pin back. And the paper clip. And you're done. Clean the gun. Now we're completely clean the gun. One thing I forgot to mention is when you clean the gun, make sure all the O-rings are not damaged, that's not misshapen, teared. That's about it. And before you start playing, see the hole here for the CO2 to go on. Inside there's a little hole. Dab 3-4 drops of oil in it and put on your CO2 and fire it through. This prevents the internal from freezing and keeps it healthy and happy. And let's now go to the external cleaning. So what you want to do is grab a tissue, moisten it with a little bit of water, not too wet, and just wipe down the inside of the CO2 connector. Inside there is usually a lot of black stuff from your CO2 bottle or dirt with debris from the field. Make sure to clean that area nice and clean, so air and debris won't be blown into your marker and cause internal damage. And wipe down the feed port. That's about it. Thank you for watching, and have a blast paintballing. See you later.